Today I've got a couple of card projects that feature a set that works together beautifully and everything gets cut out at once. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today I'm using some smart products from Pinkfresh Studio that have stamps, stencils, a press plate, and dies, and the die cuts out all of the images at the same time. I've got two very different cards to share with you today, so to see those card projects, stick around. They're coming up next. So here's a look at the products from Pinkfresh Studio that I'm going to be creating with today. And I'm really excited to try this stamp all at once, color, and then cut out all at once set, because it's just going to make it so much easier to have all these beautiful elements for my cards. So the stencil, the cuts, and the stamps are all part of the Be Fearless collection. And I've pulled a few Pinkfresh inks here. So let's get started with stamping. I've got a piece of Hero Arts Deluxe White Smooth cardstock, and I am going to start out here and just prime my stamp a little with my stamp conditioning eraser, only because it's the first time that I've used it and it helps to remove the coating and give you a better impression from your first stamp right out of the gate. I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black just to create my black stamped image for my outline. Pick that up and transfer. I'll do this twice just to get a nice impression and to make sure that it's nice and inky. Bring that down. This time I'll just sort of walk my fingers like that. All right, that looks great. I'll clean this up and we'll get ready to stencil. I've got a grip mat here and I'm going to just place my paper down right in the center. And I'm going to be starting with the stencil number 1, and I'm just going to follow the order of the stencils. Now these also have the little crop marks on them, but I'm not sure that I lined up my stamp perfectly. So what I'm going to do is focus on getting this first layer and the leaves perfectly lined up. And once I know those are in position, so I'm going to just follow the order of the stencils and I'm going to clean them in between, right? Each go round with a little alcohol so that my stencils get clean. I'll put on some music and we will speed up the the inking process. Just takes me a second to get them in place. Come on now. And just like that, I have a beautiful blended panel. And now I can get the die and cut them all out at once. So now I'm going to take this coordinating die, wiggle it around until I get it in the right place, and then we're going to cut everything out at once. All right, so I'm just taking my time, getting it in the right place, making sure these all look about right. I mean, that is not hard to line up at all. So let me run that through my die cut machine. Alrighty. The moment of truth, I'm just gonna use my little magnet. I do that to pick my dies up, off, and we will pop out all of this beautiful, oh, this looks really good. Oh my goodness. All at once. All beautiful, Wow, those look great. And then too, I can take my little pokey pad here and just make sure to poke out those little parts as well. And then I think I don't know if I'm going to cut another layer of these florals just to back them. I might just use foam squares, but we can get all those little pieces out. And look at how beautiful that looks. Get you out of there. Oh, come on, you're stuck. Here we go. These are gorgeous. And again, I just love that you do all of the color in at once. Just work with some really basic colors that are going to work together. And now we can arrange a card. I went ahead off camera and I stamped the Be True greeting and embossed it in gold embossing powder. And then I stacked a few die cut layers together for some dimension. Now I've got another piece of white cardstock here. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and score it right at 5.5 for a top folding card. Give that a fold down. But now what I think I'm going to do is add a little bit of gold spatter. So let me grab a paintbrush and a little bit of gilded gold aqua pigment. And I'm just going to pop this note card here. And I've got my aqua pigment. I'm going to shake it up. Just want to add something extra to this card because I'm not going to do any additional panels. I'm just putting some gold down. And I'm going to pick this up with my paintbrush. This is just a number 2 round, and put a little gold spatter on this card panel. Kind of at an angle, but it really doesn't matter. It can kind of just go however, and if it goes every which way, that is fine too. I think that's really pretty. I will let this dry and then I will finish the card. Actually, I had one more idea. I'm going to take one of my colors, the peony. While I'm at it, I'm just going to pop a little bit down here onto my mat and add one more layer of spatter with the peony color, just for a little extra color in that background panel. Isn't that going to be pretty? Just like that. All right, now I'll let that dry. I actually like this arrangement, and I've got regular foam squares on the bigger blooms, thin foam squares on that bloom, and then nothing on that layer of green. So I think what I'll do is take the backers off, and I've just got them in a few key places here. You know what though, I may have to add 1 or 2. I'm going to add a little liquid glue to the back, just so they have a little bit of float time before I commit my placement. And this will go, oh, I just got glue in places I didn't want it, so now I have to go where I wasn't going to go, but that's fine. That's going to go right there. And then we're going to add this in as well. Flower arranging is always a little hard for me because sometimes when I have all the blooms, I think, what am I supposed to do with them all? But here's the thing too, you could take any one of these and just make a single, really simple card, but this is just meant to be. It's meant to be. So hold that down for a second, let that adhere, and then, do I want that to? Yeah, I do. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring you out a little, get this one next, and again, these are thinner foam squares. I like to mix and match dimension when I can, because I think it's kind of fun. Little glue will do ya. And here, we're just going to have you come in a little bit like that. Press. And then I just have to figure out that placement as well. And I really did want to make sure all of the blooms were kind of facing up, if that makes, yeah, that's going to be cute, because I'm going to put some little gems on here as well. Okay. And actually, I'm going to add one more foam square. I just want him to have a little more support like that. Okay. And now, oh, you're going the wrong way. How do I want that there? Just want to make sure that I'm still seeing it the way I saw it. I think the answer is yes. Okay, a little overlap. And hold that down and let that adhere as well. See, I just think that's really pretty. And then I'm going to add some gems to fill in, or probably just some gold pearls, to fill in some open space. But let's put our liquid glue on this stacked greeting. And we're going to place that right there. I like that right there. All right. Make sure that's pretty straight. Now let me just add some gold pearls. And here I've got a nice little arrangement of these little gold beads, and we will finish out the card with these. Boop. Boop. Little dab will do ya. Boop. A little bit larger of a one in this space in the middle, so it kind of fills in that little trapped white space. Boop. And then finish out, again, repeating the sizes. Boop. And the smallest one here on the outside. Boop. And that is my finished card project. I just think the stencil matched with the die that stamps and cuts everything out together is such a smart design. I love how this turned out, and I know exactly who I'm going to send this to. I want to share one more card project because I also have the press plate for this. And I don't really think it matters. I mean, the idea that I have is so simple, it doesn't really matter as long as you're in the general area, right? And we're going to get our cardstock here, and I'm going to put on right in the little, well, I guess I'll do it this way. This is the Spellbinders cotton cardstock. I think this is the porcelain color. And I'm just going to tape this down with some Easy C tape to hold it in place, top and bottom. And I'm going to show you, oh, come on now, get up, how beautifully, and this is something that I haven't been using my Better Press. And this makes me want to use it more because these inks work so nicely. Your dye inks can be so great with your Better Press. So you ink this up. It's the exact same design. So my stencil set is going to work great with this. I'm just going to make sure I really get it coated on here. Like that. I'm going to take the, I don't know what this is called, Platinum Chase. I get confused. And let's bring in my Platinum 6 machine, and I'll just open this up like this. Hopefully I have enough room here on my desk, and I'm going to run my plate through and transfer that image. Very quiet, very simple. Bring this over here and show you the results. Look at how beautiful that is. It just presses right into the cardstock. Zoom in here a little. In the color. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm actually only going to add one layer of color to the flowers for a very monochromatic look. So let me get the stencil in place and I'll add a lighter shade, the Cherry Blossom. Also, this just cleans up a little spritz of water, super easy because this is dye ink and it will come right off like that. I've got things flying all over here. And then I can just pick this up with my little magnet and get the rest of it cleaned off. So I'm going to take the lightest color, Cherry Blossom, and I'm going to do a light color all over the main parts of these flowers, but not too dark, right? And that other color that I was using, the Peony, really does hold beautifully as the outline. Okay, so just light little wash. That. And then I will bring in a smaller brush so I can stay more in an area, like that. And just create a little shading and shadowing. Got a little bit there that I didn't want, but that's okay. And a little here, like that, just for a little differentiation. And now you can see I have these very monochromatic blooms, and I will go ahead and cut these out so that I can make an arrangement. So I finished out this card with the same gold spatter and the peony spatter here with this ink, just like I did on the other card, but this was done with the press plate instead. So if I want to take a look at the two cards side by side, that is two fun and very different looks using this stencil set with the dies, the stamps, and of course this one, the press plate. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. I'll also have a blog post with more photos and details about these card projects that you can check out. Again, that link is in my description. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. To see more floral motif card projects, check out the two thumbnails I have linked below, and I will see you in those videos.